Good morning, my dear friends. Today is going to be a very busy, but also a very fun day. Among other things, I want to finish planting my snapdragon seeds. I want to unbox this heat mat that goes under the seedling trays. And my friend Vicky and I are doing another 2 piano performance on Saturday. So I want to make a nice flower arrangement for the music room. But before we do anything, I want to prep tonight's dinner. I'm going to do marinated chicken, and the marinade will be lemon and garlic and olive oil and maybe lemon pepper. I like to mix my marinade ingredients right in a Ziploc bag. And I put the Ziploc bag in a vase just to hold it in place. The only ingredients you ever need for a marinade is oil and some kind of acid. My oil today will be extra virgin olive. And my acid is lemon juice. The lemons at my local market have looked just awful recently, so I have been using this really good quality bottled lemon juice. Then I have garlic pucks from homegrown garlic. I need to thaw this in the microwave. So I'm going to do 2 of these little garlic pucks because I'm going to double my dinner recipe. In goes 1 of the garlic pucks, now completely thawed. I also want to add some lemon pepper. I didn't mean to add that much. Too late to remove any of it. And then I need a good pinch of salt. Give this a mix. In you go. And I might as well set up a second vase over here. So one of these marinated chickens will be for dinner tonight, and the other I can freeze for another night. A night when I don't feel like cooking anything. Lemon pepper, and the other garlic puck. This garlic smells really wonderful. I have garlic in the garden now that you and I planted in, I think it was October. It is now covered with 20 inches of snow, but it will be fine. Need a bit of salt in here. I have some boneless chicken breasts here. And as a side dish for this chicken, I'm going to do rice and I think some roasted Brussels sprouts. Massaging the bag to make sure chicken is completely coated with the marinade ingredients. And I can pop this one in the freezer. Please pretend that you did not see that bottle of gin. Now, when it's dinner time, I will pour the contents of this bag into this very shallow baking dish, and then I will bake the chicken at 425 degrees for about 20 minutes, and it will come out moist, highly flavorful, and definitely delicious. I need to put my garlic away, pop this into the refrigerator. I'm going to clean this up, and then we can prep the Brussels sprouts. So I have some very attractive Brussels sprouts here. In the comments, let me know if you are a fan of Brussels sprouts. I know some people love them, some people loathe them. I'm a Brussels sprout lover. I need to cut the larger Brussels sprouts lengthwise in half. Throw these in a bowl. And then I want to toss them with olive oil and salt and pepper. Then I can simply pour them onto a baking tray, and these can sit in my refrigerator until I'm ready to cook them off. Let me get all of this cleaned up, and then we can go shopping for seed starting supplies. We are at the local odd lot now. Besides buying seed starting mix and seed trays, I'm also picking up some herb and flower seeds, including basil, cilantro, parsley, sweet pea, larkspur, and my beloved purple print zinnias. I will start most of these seeds indoors under lights in the coming weeks. Now it's off to the flower shop. We are home again. This is our haul. Let me show you the flowers. I think these colors will work very well for a pastel arrangement. I'm going to tuck these flowers into a tub of water just as a temporary holding location, and then we can arrange the flowers a little later this afternoon. And I forgot to mention that I have a firewood delivery coming. I'm just waiting to get a text from the driver to see when he's coming. Okay, let's set these aside. I'm going to get organized here, and then we can start planting. I know I'm going to make a great big mess here, so I want to lay down this old landscaping fabric on my workstation. The first thing I need to do is prepare my seed starting mix. I want to check the consistency of this. It's a little moist, but it's not moist enough. So I need to hydrate this with water. So this is just hot tap water. And I'm looking to make this seed starting mix just evenly moist. I love playing in the dirt. I also love the smell of wet seed starting mix, especially when the ground outside is covered with snow. This smells like warm spring earth. Hey, let me grab my seed trays. So these are brand new to me. These Burpee Super Seed 16 pop-out and reusable seed starting tray. key word is reusable. Oh, I see. So these are pop out. You can actually press over here and pop out the seedling when it's time to plant out in the garden. Both of these are ready. And we can fill these bad boys. So the snapdragon varieties I'm planting today are Con Lavender, Madame Butterfly Bronze, Potomac Orange. These are pelleted seeds, very easy to work with, and Potomac Lavender, also pelleted. And I'm going to label with white masking tape what is planted where. Labeling complete. Now I'm looking forward to showing you the difference between regular snapdragon seeds and pelleted snapdragon seeds. I'm also looking forward to showing you the snapdragons that we planted exactly 1 week ago because they have germinated. That was very exciting. Snapdragon seeds need light to germinate, so I do not have to bury these seeds. I just have to scatter them as thinly as possible, which may not be very thinly at all. The only thing I'm missing from these seed trays is a dome to go over them, but I think I can just put some cling film on top to keep the humidity. These are even more dust-like than the other seeds I just planted. So there were at least 50 seeds in those 2 seed packets. In each of those 2 seed packets, I mean. Now, here come the pelleted lavender, Potomac lavender. So now you can see every seed. I can do 2, well, at least 2 per cell. Maybe we'll do 3. So pelleted seeds are just regular seeds that have a thin clay coating on them. And they take a little longer to germinate because you need to first break down that clay coating. Now I want to moisten these seeds. And this water will help to start breaking down the clay seed coating. Earlier, I mentioned that snapdragon seeds require light in order to germinate. But I like to give them just a light covering with vermiculite, because vermiculite holds moisture and it stops algae from growing. The reason I like to start my snapdragons very early, I mean today is what, February 4th? February 5th, is because although snapdragons will germinate in 7 days, they tend to start growing and then they just stop. They don't budge for weeks. And then suddenly they start growing again. And snapdragons take a long time to reach the mature state where they will bloom. So I'm better off starting my snapdragons earlier rather than later. And now I'm going to put cling film over these trays. Actually, let me grab one of my domes and see if it will fit over both. And here is the dome. And yes, look at that. It does fit. No need to use cling film. So let's bring these into the grow room and put them under lights. Wait, I need to open my new friend here. It's the seed heat mat. I've wanted one of these for years, and I finally broke down and ordered one online. So this is a 48-inch long heat mat, and my shelves are 48 inches long, so it should work perfectly. Well, let's bring all of this into the grow room. My seed starting room is in the old north wing of this house. You and I set up the shelving and grow lights here about 2 years ago. I can link the lights in the description below if you are interested. These are the snapdragons that you and I planted together exactly 1 week ago. I was very happy to see them germinate. So it says right here that this mat is designed to raise rooting area temperatures approximately 10 to 20 degrees Fahrenheit or 5 to 11 degrees Celsius above ambient air temperature. And it's pretty cool in this room. And I can already feel it warming up. Yay! So we can put the already germinated snapdragons over here. And the newly planted snapdragons right here. Boy, there is a lot of room on this mat. Here is my dome to hold in humidity. 50, 100, 200. So that's about 350 seeds that we've planted so far. And I look forward to showing you this new batch of snapdragons when they have germinated. Now let's head back to the kitchen. Well, I was going to arrange the flowers right now, but I just got a text from the Firewood delivery person. So let's go watch some firewood being delivered. It feels so good to have that firewood delivered, and I am so glad that he had a plow shield in front of his truck, and he was actually able to plow my lawn. It has been so cold here, and I was afraid I would run out of firewood. So my next dilemma is figuring out when I'm going to stack that wood. Or maybe I can hire out that job. So I have flower food in my vase. And here are the flowers. Sadly, they only had one of these pink snapdragons, but I loved the color so much, I had to have it. Now, I usually use evergreens from my garden in my flower arrangements, but today I'm going to use, I think this is called leather leaf. I actually have some flowers in the music room. Well, they're flowers that you and I arranged together. I think it was a week ago, but I'm not sure what kind of condition they will be in when Vicki and I do our performance on Saturday. So I thought, better safe than sorry, and go ahead and splurge on another arrangement. Because we play better when there are fresh cut flowers in that room. I'd like to think. I need more greens for this arrangement, so my flowers will stay in place. So let me dash outside to cut some yew branches. Well, you saw how deep that snow is, right? I should have put on my boots, but I was too lazy. Yes, this will really beef up the arrangement. And it stays right where I want it. And there, I think our pink, white, and blue arrangement is complete. And every time I arrange flowers, I provide a disclaimer. I am not a professional flower arranger. I just like to have fun with flowers. But I think this looks respectable. And we can enjoy it right here in the kitchen for a bit, and then later we can put it in the music room. Going to get cleaned up, and then I think I would like to have some vegetable stock in which to cook my rice for dinner. So we're going to make that next. And on to the vegetable stock, which again, I'm going to use for my rice. So I have onion skins. I have all kinds of vegetable scraps that you and I saved from various cooking projects. Now the onion skins will give the stock a nice color. And then I have bits of celery left over. I just keep all of these scraps in my freezer. I think I have leeks in here, more celery. I don't know why I have a whole carrot, but I do. And I have carrot peels, and I have parsley peelings and turnip peelings. And then here I have the stems from the mushrooms that you and I used when we made the turkey loaf Wellington for Christmas dinner. And then all I have to do is add enough water to reach the fill line. I just did a quick survey of my freezer, and I found yet more goodies we can add to this stock. Red onion, and leeks from my 2024 garden. Pop this in here, and then I am going to pressure cook this at high pressure for 45 minutes. There we are. And then I can save all of these Ziploc bags and continue to fill them up with vegetable scraps as we continue with our various cooking projects throughout the year. All right, my vegetable stock is done. Going to release the pressure. I like to cover the steam valve so I don't have steam going everywhere. Oh, my friends, this is beautiful and it smells just fantastic. I'm going to let this cool down for a bit, then we can jar it up, make our rice, and cook our dinner, and light a fire. You can see the yellow color of the stock. That is from the onion skins. Now, if you have never cooked rice with your own homemade vegetable stock, I urge you to do so because, well, it's an experience. Really, really wonderful. Now you can freeze stock for a very long time. I'm leaving headroom, well, about 1 inch of headroom in these jars because I will freeze some of them. And now we can continue straining. I'm going to need more jars. Now you notice I did not add any salt when I was putting all of my ingredients in the Instant Pot. And that is because I like to season my stock with salt and pepper as I use it in recipes. I'm going to let this stock cool to room temperature, and then I can put these leak-proof screw-on lids on the jars. And I will put some in the refrigerator and some in the freezer. And just like that, it's dinner time. Rice in homemade vegetable stock, marinated chicken, and Brussels sprouts. I cut the chicken into crosswise slices and served it atop the rice, along with spoonfuls of the cooking juices. Cheers, friends! And thank you for spending the day with me as we planted seeds, arranged flowers, and made a very simple but very delicious dinner. I will be back next Friday with another video. Until then, please treat yourself very, very well. I can't wait to see you again. Bye for now, friends.